Boom. It is Monday the 26th. The bloody September is almost over with. We just have to hang out. We just have to hang on. Hang on for dear life. Yeah. Stocks, dude. Stocks really got hit hard. The S&P 500 don't need to be on the 1 minute chart. Need to be on more of the daily chart. Dude, look at this. Okay, so everything likes to go back to essentially the point of the incident, right? We like to retouch stuff. And if the S&P 500, if stocks can hold this level, it's the bottom. Okay, because I've been saying for a while that I think we've already hit the bottom unless there's like a real reason in order to really go further down. And there's a couple things that I talked about on Around the Blockchain just not too long ago about what was going on. And we've retested close to the bottom of the S&P 500. Like, man, I wish I had my wife. She was doing a trading deal for her school as far as they had to invest money, and I put her into a portfolio that was 80-20 bonds and an index fund, and one of the index funds was the S&P 500. And it just so happened because the beginning of September, right, we bought in and it's just gone down. Really, this is the good entry point right now for the stream's current bit rate is higher than a recommended bit rate. I have a higher bit rate than recommended. Boom. Okay. So anyway, this is a good entry point into the S&P 500. I'd like to see the bounce here. This might actually be a pretty good trade moving forward, right? Because if we bounce up off here, boom, we're potentially, the idea is we want to get over 4,000. 4,000 really is that line where you really want to be making a good sign. It's just a psychological level. I talk a lot about psychological levels, and stocks have just been freaking hammered today. We don't see this much in... Yeah, that's a big dip. That is a big dip. Big freaking dip for stocks. Man, boom, boom, boom. But it's good that we're bouncing. It's good that we're bouncing. We're bouncing right off the low. And if that happens, it means the low is in for potentially the stock market. And this could be a good double bottom effect, right? One of my favorite trading patterns is the double bottom. Boom. So it'd be the neckline, right? What would be the price target for here? I'm on the daily here because it's just easier to see. I hope everyone had a good weekend too. 5,000. It's going to be a while before I feel the S&P 500 is back up to all-time highs of the 5,000. Everyone's talking about a major recession and things getting way worse before they get better. I feel like something is going to pop in to make sure that things don't get much worse than what they are. If things get worse, it's not going to be like 100% worse. Well, because obviously we'd be at zero at that point. But I would see maybe 10 to 15% correction from here. Where would that be? Let's just see. Okay, there's 10%. Right? There's 10%. 10%. Dun, dun, dun. And that's got a really good, strong support area right here at the 3,300. Yeah, okay. Where would be 15% of kind of max pain for stocks? Okay, might go a little bit further down than that. Why is that doing that? Might go a little bit further down. That's 23%. That would be a nightmare for us to hit 2,800. Oh, God. Yeah, I really don't think that that's going to happen. Max pain for the stock market is really this 3,200 line, where this phantom line I have right here. I guess I'll just draw. Wrong one. Making sure it's straight. 3,200. That's really the max pain for there. And if we do get a good bounce here, that is going to be a good sign for Bitcoin, because dang, Bitcoin does not want to drop below this 1900. I've had this trade open that I want to close on Bitcoin, but my entry is 19,600, which is really the rocket ship line that I have for, you know, this green line I have on my chart. That's really where we need to go. We've touched it a few times and we just can't get over it, because I really feel that something big is going to happen. I think that we need a big relief rally since all of this has been happening. And I just don't think we've gotten that rally. Everybody and their mom wants to talk about it just going to zero. And I see a symmetric triangle, at least here on the 1 hour, where I'm just feeling, right, that we are going to break. And where are we going? Wrong one. So we've got a symmetric triangle, and it's just sitting here. Boom, 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 boom. And we're going to break. We're going to break. Whatever it breaks, it's going to be big upwards or downwards. It's essentially the only way we have to go. And we're going up. We're going up. We can see that we're already trying to touch it here on the 1 hour. You know, I wish this would have been a better entry point for me, you know, but I'm already in a trade, so I'm just letting it stay open there. My Ethereum trade, fuck, that deal, I've already taken profits. I'm letting it run because this 1,300 crap for Ethereum that's not where any of my price targets are for Ethereum. I don't think Ethereum's ever going below 1,000. Right, that is a good sign. The 1250, you can see we barely touched it. I had a trade that I had a good size trade there that barely, I had to cut my losses. I absolutely had to cut my losses so I didn't just destroy my trading account. And it was a bummer because it just barely touched down there, just barely broke through, and I got stopped out. This red line is actually my stop line from previously before, and yeah, screw it. I don't need that on there anymore. And you can see it just barely touched on the daily. It was like, So I actually entered my Ethereum trade on the minute chart, and, you know, I really should be looking at the minute chart for Ethereum to see where I'm going to get out. And on the minute here, we are having some resistance at this 1335 level, right? And my price targets are in the $1,500 range for Ethereum, where I don't want to take profits on this guy any more than what I already have, because I'm playing with much more than house money for that Ethereum trade. ADA, a little bit differently. I feel like there's a pump happening, and you can already tell that a pump has been happening. Over the weekend, I had a DOT trade that was in, and I just barely missed the bubble because I had such a tight stop, and it was a bummer. You know, I lost 0.25%, not too bad, but my other trades have made up for it. I'm actually showing you guys my live trades right here. And not many people do that because trading is incredibly difficult. You know, people just want to sit here and talk about stuff, but everyone trades a little bit differently. And my Bitcoin is off the daily, the Ethereum's off the minute, and the ADA is off the minute. Let me look at the ADA off the minute. Do I see any formations that look alarming or anything? $44.6 is good resistance. That's also good on stochastics. How does the hour look? See a breakout right at 45 on the hourly. What is stochastics like? Yeah, that's decent. How's the 4 hour looking? 4 hours looking like we're in a range here. Dude, zooming in on the hour, we're in that same like symmetric triangle looking here. Boom, boom, boom. Decent support at 43. Got 2 touches here. What is... That's not the one I'm looking at. My moving averages. Where's all my moving averages? Do I not have them on here anymore? Okay. Decent. Okay. So cradle trade is out of the question on there. Just hold ADA is what I'm doing. I'm just going to hold ADA for their Ethereum. Now, I guess let's forget talking about that, because really we need a break below 1,250 for ETH, and Bitcoin needs to break underneath 18,000 really for crap really to hit the fan. Stocks have been hammered. We've retested the already low, so that is interesting. I bet these technicals say sell everything. Yeah, why would you sell when it's just visiting the bottom here where you're going to get a bounce? That technical deal is silly. That's bad advice, really bad advice. But I talked a little bit about the housing crisis right now. With the interest rates are going up, so therefore prices are going down. Everybody thinks that right now is such a bad time to be looking to buy a house because they need to wait for like a giant crash in the market. Yeah, excuse me. A crash in the market is going to be maybe 30%. So if the houses were already too expensive for you to buy right now, they're going to stay still too expensive. Just plain and simple. The long run, if you have the cash and you're ready to buy something, if it was me, the interest rates suck, but interest rates are going to get worse before they get better. So you're just in a bad spot right now there, but they will get better and you can always refinance later. But prices of homes are going to go up just like Bitcoin, right? Everyone I talk to is so scared to enter this market. Everyone is so worried about losing money that they keep screaming that, oh, we're going to lose more money. Like, I can't do this. To me, that's almost like a bottom signal for stuff. Yeah, it's going to be a little while before we're clear, because we're going to continue this sideways action and not much pump until Powell decides to stop increasing the interest rates. Like, it's going to be incredibly bullish once he just says, hey, we're not going to increase the rates anymore, because then the next step from there is, oh, we're going to start decreasing them. That is going to be incredibly bullish. Right now, we're just ebbing and flowing. As long as he doesn't do over a basis point, we should be good. And truthfully, the S&P 500 is at a make or break time right now. It really needs to bounce off of this. And September is always a bloody month. I know, Jesus, if I'm just being candid, my brokerage account has been tanked. I've lost, 130,000 this year in just my brokerage account, which doesn't sound near as bad as like the 400 grand I've lost in crypto. That sounds so bad. It sounds like, oh, I lost my house in crypto this year, but they're hypothetical gains, and that's just kind of what you have to play with, right? It's incredibly hard to find the bottom and the top. Okay, but I truthfully think that we're damn close to have already found the bottom, or it's happening here soon. Everyone keeps screaming for this magical $14,000 range for Bitcoin. Here, I'm on the 4-hour. Let me move to like the daily to where it makes a little bit more sense. Here, that makes much more sense. Auto, right? We want to be down here 16,000 to ideally that 12,000. Dude, wrong screen here. Major panic if this was to happen. If we were to fall here, oh my goodness. Nobody's coming back into this market in crypto if this seems to happen. I mean, for a lot of people, that would be, saving grace. But truthfully, anybody that I talk to that says, oh, I wish Bitcoin goes down here because then I'm buying the moon. Dude, I've been through a cycle, and I've been where it's gone down, and I've been, man, should I have bought Bitcoin at 3,000? Like, why am I putting money into this? Because it's probably going to zero at this point, because I've wrote it down to 18,000 to 10,000. Like, it's definitely going to zero. And, you know, this was somebody that had a lot of sentiment involved. So anybody that wishes for these numbers, they're not going to buy. They're not going to buy there. Just plain and simple. That's why right now everyone's screaming. You know, they're not going to feel bad if you're getting into the market here. I got a comment. Hey, what do you think about ETH now with the POS update? Dude, it's the future. Absolute future of crypto. POS is perfect. It sounds like piece of shit, but it's proof of stake. It's the future. Lending the assets out to the network for essentially them to do their AI thing and send money, and then you give a transaction back. That is be your own bank at its finest. It is the future for the middle class, right? Yeah, there's going to be some sort of centralization where, you know, what platform you're using, because you need to have a server to actually run the node, right? Because you need 32 ETH, but then you actually need the software to run the lack of a better term, the program for the blockchain, so that it'll manage the transactions, essentially add the blocks, right? I think it's a good thing, right? I keep saying right. It's a better thinking word than I'm a huge fan of Ethereum. I keep buying Ethereum at these prices because it is effing cheap. It is effing cheap. And I really, really don't think that anybody that have a long-term outlook on this stuff is going to feel bad about DCAing into these kind of levels. Like, in 4 years from now, you're going to seem like a superhero if you were buying at these levels. You're probably going to say to yourself, I wish I bought more, right? As opposed to, I wish I bought less. Here, we're bouncing on the daily down here. It's, of course, short term, right? We could potentially see back down to 1,000. However, I don't feel we're going to see the 1,000. I think this was the bottom, and us touching here, the top of resistance as new support, that's incredibly bullish for me. Hence why I've got a trade in here that you can see that's up quite a bit. I've leveraged the hell out of it at 35%, you know, so that was risky, but it was on the minute, so I had an incredibly tight stop on Ethereum, and it ended up working out in my favor. So I'm so far away from my stop at this point, and I've taken profits. I'm just letting it run. You know, my Bitcoin trade is off of the daily as well. But Ethereum, I'm more bullish on than Bitcoin, to be honest. And the whole housing thing, you know, owning a home right now or having a home is like having a Bitcoin. If you have a house, you need to try to hold on to that asset for as long as you can, right? As opposed to selling it and renting. You know, you need to have at least keep it for a rental, or just pay it off slowly over the next 30 years or 15 years. Yeah, there's lots of interest and stuff in there, but the asset is going to go up in value. It's just going to go up in value. And the other thing we talked about was just the Celsius, as far as they're trying to rob Peter to pay Paul to pay people back. There's a saying that if you're the first one through the door, you get trampled. And this whole staking stuff, a lot of people that probably shouldn't have been involved in the space before, that didn't have the liquidity to make it happen, they're the ones that got burned. And there's a lot of people that lost a lot of money on that stuff. And that's why it's really scary to get into this market with a substantial amount of money, because you're risking a lot, right? So you got to have a little bit of faith, and risk favors the brave, just like that crypto.com commercial. And the people that really make life-changing money are the ones that are willing to risk quite a bit. So I'm not telling everybody to go take a second mortgage out on their house or anything. You could start off slowly with every paycheck, $25, $50, something that's a meaningful amount to you. And again, the people that are really going to make the money are the people that have put a lot of money into this stuff, but they also have earned their keep because they're going to see these gnarly crashes and they're going to have to be able to do this. That's why I don't really recommend leverage trading, especially if you're trying to make money. Trading is very difficult. I will show you these numbers and show you, hey, this is what I'm doing. However, it's difficult to have the emotional capacity to buy and sell and do this. Right? A lot of people just want to buy and hold and keep on forever. So therefore, it's best to use an exchange like BinanceUS, FTX, Crypto.com, Coinbase. You know, those are really the top ones that I feel are potentially going to have staying power. Ideally, I think it's Binance and Coinbase are the safest ones to stay involved. And right now, whether you buy stocks, Nike, or anything, you're not going to feel bad, you know, in the next 3 to 4 years. You might feel bad in the next 2 to 6 months, right? Because things might go further down. That's always a possibility. Everyone wants to buy something and have it just go up immediately. That's not how things happen. You know, having life-changing money happens slowly. That's why I'm a big believer in the compound effect. You've got to DCA and do it forever and kind of never sell. And Lewis's point with the proof of stake, that's what's going to enable you to never sell your coins, right? Don't you want your money to work for you? A good way for your money to work for you is to stake it. Of course, you have to trust the platform that you're staking with because they're essentially the ones owning that asset right now. But it's no different than a bank. You know, if you think logistically about a bank, when you deposit money into a bank, is it your money? Yeah, everyone says, yeah, it's my money. And I'm like, no, it's not effing your money. People that believe that their money is theirs when it's in a bank are just wrong, right? Instantly, it goes into magic money mode, and banks then lend it out to Paul and Peter and everybody at 3 to 18%, whether they're buying a mortgage or a credit card or a car. It's not your money anymore. Just plain and simple, right? So the financial world is going to continue to run off of the same rules that it has, with potentially some new technology built in. And that's what crypto is doing. It's becoming a little bit new technology that you have to ebb and flow with. It's not going to be this savior that everyone says that, oh, Star Wars-ish, we're going to be in bunkers and we're going to trade with Bitcoin. It has a lot of ability to change the world. However, big money is not going to let it happen. You know, the people in power are not going to let crypto function as if it was designed. It's just, you just have to accept that. And once you accept that, then you can realize, okay, Ethereum's proof of stake, it is now not really decentralized. Yes, they're going to burn coins, and so it's going to be deflationary, which is good, but it's centralized. As soon as it went proof of stake, now all of a sudden the person that owns 51% of all the staking power has 50% of the rights to make it happen. Just simple. Dun, dun, dun. And truthfully, you're not going to get rich if the majority of people don't use the asset. And in order for people, the world, to use the asset, it's got to basically be a little bit manipulated by the world power of banks. And that's just how it is, right? That's just how it is. You got to try to use the system to the best you can, but it's nihilistic to not think that the middle class can all of a sudden just take over and crush the banks, because truthfully, we need the banks and we need governments, because our Bitcoin would be worth zero if they crash, because society would crash with it. So everyone that wants to be the doomsday bloomers, it's complete bullshit. But there is something big happening here with Bitcoin, and I guess we'll just follow Bitcoin, because Bitcoin is kind of the catalyst on it. And we've got a symmetric triangle, which could be bullish or bearish, right? On the daily, it looks the same. You know, on the 4 hour, you can see it a little bit more, right? It is looking like we're getting close to potentially breaking out. On the 4 hour, it is looking a little oversold, right? But it could stay oversold for a while. And Lewis, I want to answer you because you're the only one talking to me right now. I agree. I do not sell it. Yeah, Lewis, good for you, buddy. I'm bummed that you can't mine Ethereum anymore, which is a bummer. But makes it more cleaner. It makes it more cleaner when you don't have to mine, because that's really where we're going with, is getting rid of that physical stuff. Yeah, I could see this breaking out. This could definitely break out. The more touches you have, the more ability that you have to go up or down. Right now, we've got a little bit more touches on the bottom than we do the top. We've got, I would say, this is 1. That doesn't really count. That one doesn't really count. 2. This is 3. We need 3 touches for this to be official, and that might be it right here. Boom. So I'm betting a big move is coming. A big move is coming. And you can see by my trades, I'm betting that it's going to go up. Hence why I've got that long right there. However, guys, this is Johnny Crypto. I'm here to help you guys make some money. I appreciate you guys hanging out in the chat. I'll continue to keep showing you my stuff, being real with you. And hey, when you lose money, I lose money too. It's just plain and simple. Anyone that tells you that they're making absolute bank right now, they're lying, okay? Homes are going down in value. All assets are going down in value. Not everybody is just holding cash, and you're stupid just to hold cash, because if cash is tanking of anything, right? So it's smart to have a little bit on cash on hand so that you can buy the stuff when it's cheap, but to have all of it is silly. Anybody that has a physical asset, dirt bike, car, whatever, they're losing money in it. Just plain and simple.